Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Crusader webinar on special education's needs and their tools within the Clevertouch boards. With us today, we've got Gareth from Clevertouch, who's going to take us through some of the utilities we hope we all find useful. Gareth, over to yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, everybody. So I understand I've got about 15 minutes to whistle-stop tour through some of the features we have with our screens. One of the features is actually me myself, because Clevertouch, we've got 3 teachers as part of our demand creation training team, and training for all educational establishments from our team is free, and we can help guide you with how best to use our screens and our software should you need us. So let's have a little look. We'll have a rundown of some of the things that I'm showing here on this screen. Now, first of all, we provide very large screens, 86 inches and 98-inch touch screens that are available for larger imaging. We have enhanced speakers on our Pro Series 3 and Lux screens, 75 watts on the Pro Series 3 and 60 watts on the Lux. We also have a multi-window mode, so you can move fluidly between apps and resize them as required. I'll just demonstrate that now, so forgive me for putting my back to you all. So I can grab this app where it was in full screen, and I can take that and lock that somewhere else. If I open up an example, Google Earth as well, and let's see, we're going to explore Earth there. So I could decide that I'd want to go full screen with that app, or I can grab it and I can lock it into a corner of the screen, and the same with the whiteboard as well. So there might be apps that you want on display along the top, and apps that students are coming up and interacting with at the bottom of the screen, particularly useful for wheelchair users because they might not be able to reach the tops of the screen, but they can certainly reach the apps at the bottom. We also do height adjustable stands and towers that you can have, and we even sell stands that will flip into a table mode as well, so that people can come up to the screen from all angles too. I forgot about those early on. I'm glad I remembered them now. Let's go back to full screen on here. We also integrate with the Gboard app, meaning that when we utilize a keyboard, you can just speak to the screen and it will turn your voice into the text when you're searching. I'll show another example of that in a moment. That's because both our Pro Series 3 and Lux screens have a built-in microphone. We also sell an X5 screen without the built-in microphone, but you can just plug your own microphone in to any of our screens anyway. We also have accessibility features. So let's just pop away here. One of them being that microphone, for example. So if I tap the microphone here in my Google search bar, show me pictures of Paris. So that will automatically help me go out on those tangents, and we can find things without the need to type if we're not physically able to do that. This handy little tool here that you're going to see me accessing a lot. Again, it might be something that someone might come to the screen and they can't see it or reach it. But if you use 2 fingers on the screen, it comes to your hand and you can use it really handily. If we pop into the settings of the screen, I am in the accessibility area here, and we've got built in the apps of Select to Speak, Talkback. We also have a magnification app as well that I can activate at any time, tap somewhere on the screen, and then I can really zoom in and out. I'm controlling that zoom now at the screen, and then when I'm done with it, I can just turn that off as well, and we go back to the normal view. But the accessibility features here, live caption, caption preferences, audio description. If you've got apps or movies and shows that support audio description, they will work in the screen as well, absolutely fine. If we go to display size and text, I will make sure that that's going to be, exactly the size that I want it to be. And then Select to Speak. Here I can make it so that I have an accessibility button that I can use at any time. So if we go home and we go maybe back to my browser, it's looking at African animals on here earlier on. Let's go full screen. And let's see if I find a bit of text. That's interesting. There we go. Do apologize. Am I only on the images section? Let me just check. I know I am in all mode. Had that ready earlier on. Line pictures for kids. There we go. Well, if I turn this on, I'll just grab some text. It should read it out.
Lion with golden crown sitting smiling cartoon character.
There we go.
60,831,200.
So apologies there, I did have some text ready and it's gone away from that page, but you can get the idea that I can just turn this on whenever I want it, and whatever text I then highlight on the screen after a pause. It will
About this result.
play it.
Lion Kid PNG transparent image.
That's me assuming that you're picking up the audio from my screen and Teams isn't cancelling it out. But yeah, really great tool. Let's go back to my Whiteboard app, which I can do very easily. We have a nice, easy accessibility feature whereby we can jump in between the various apps from that floating pencil. We can also do things from that floating pencil, such as have instant annotations and the ability to crop things. So I can take something from one place here. So if I wanted to point out about the enhanced speakers, for example, that bit of text, I can insert that back into our default Whiteboard here. And then, of course, I can enlarge that as big as I want as well. Just put that down there over the side. So we will make it as easy as possible for people to grab things, annotate on things, and enlarge them and zoom on them whenever you need to. Also in the floating pencil, we have the ability to freeze the screen. And the reason why the freeze button is a magnifying glass is because it gives you this little menu here. And so we can zoom in on the frozen image that's on the screen to really enhance what we're seeing. We can go back out to full screen and then close that when we don't want it anymore. So I mentioned that we've got accessibility features and the freeze screen with the zoom function and the cropping and the ability to zoom in and out on those crops. Our look screen also comes with some brand new AI tools. So here, for example, I would be able to use an instant translate tool. I've got the ability to handwrite, to draw around things, and it will tell me what we're looking at. So I'll activate that one, see if it's going to work for us. So it knows that it's picking up an image there and it will try to search that for us. Let me close that down for a moment. But those AI tools are going to be available currently just on our look screens. That's our top of the line screen. And it includes a nice audio description on certain videos. So a video, well, an audio summary of videos as well. So that if people aren't able to watch a video and get information from it, you can have a summary that's read out to you from those apps there. Now, also, of course, you might want to bring some apps onto the screen to help out with people with various learning difficulties or SEND needs. And that's great because we've got the Google Play Store on our screen. So if I go back home, you can see there's the Google Play Store. I'll activate it. So if there's an app in existence that would help particular students that you work with, you can install it on our screens. And with the chipset of the look screen, it will certainly be able to run, you know, quite big gaming kind of apps on the screens as well. You just need to sign into a Google account. I could then sign into things like PowerPoint and Word, and those apps have their own tools of text to speech, and they will work just fine in the screen as well. Now, we also have our own software called Links. So I want to access that from my laptop. So you're going to see me in a moment, my screen as I bring it onto here. Here we go. And if I take us to Links there. So hopefully what you're seeing on my screen now is my interface for Links Whiteboard. This is the symbol for Links Whiteboard. It's our own presentation software. It's a cross-platform app. You can have it on all of your school devices, so whether they're Apple or Android phones or tablets, MacBooks, Chromebooks, Amazon Fire tablets and laptops and PCs, you can stick Links Whiteboard for free on all of your devices, and it comes as an app in our screens as well. Now, You can link up your cloud drives to it, and you can open all of your historical files too. So it's a great space for opening your existing content, but also it's a great tool for creating new content and content that's a lot more accessible for children with special needs. So some of those tools that I wanted to mention to you are things like the rainbow pen. So if I go into my pens here, we have the rainbow pen. So on a touchscreen device, if I'm trying to develop my handwriting and I have difficulties with that, the rainbow pen can help me, because as I'm writing, it will stay the same color if I'm keeping the pen onto the pad. But if I have to keep lifting up my pen and I want to see what my letter formation is like, you can see it changes color every time that I do that. Now, we also have a block highlighter tool. The block highlighter tool is great because what I can do with it, here it is I can pick a color and I can block highlight over the top of text and images and things that I've got on the screen. So if I pick a different color now, I can block highlight different sections of text. So this really helps with dyslexic students that maybe read better under certain color filters and contrasts, or, you know, for those that just have a visual impairment, and it helps them. Now, these don't have to stay like this. This one might maybe too translucent, and I can go to my little eye tool here and I'll make it even more transparent as well. So we've got easy features like that. We also have auto zoom on media. So if I was to start presenting here, what I can do is, you can see some pictures over here that I've got small on the screen. When I tap on them, when I want to bring them to the fore for students, I can tap on them and will automatically zoom in. Then we can go back out. We can go to my GIF here. So we can even zoom in on little GIFs, and we can zoom in on videos as well. So now I've got my video here that I can play to, and we can zoom back out of that as well. And another final picture there that we can zoom in on. We also have our interactive maths tools. So holding physical objects might be quite difficult and hinder some students to learn some of their math skills. But on a touch screen, they probably have a lot more capability than having to physically pick it up and hold it. So we can move this around. We've got some handy little nodes that we can use just with one finger to measure an angle, stamp it onto the screen as well. And even the angles that we make, if we're slightly wrong, we can mess about with those too in the screen as well. We also have an AI text checking tool and translation tool. So here you can see a terrible sentence that I've written. If I turn on the AI tool, I can say, please convert that sentence into a paragraph. And so what it's done is it's converted it into a sentence that now has the correct spelling and the correct grammar. But also I might say, let's rewrite that into a different language, because children with English as an additional language, often those children end up on our special needs registers. So if I wanted to change that into a different language, I can do that very quickly, so that we're catering for those students and maybe even their parents as well, when we want to create resources for them. So just with a tap of a couple of buttons, the AI tools will do that for us. We also have sound buttons that we can create as well, and a screen recorder. We find with our special needs schools that the linked screen recorder shown here, it's just a little widget that sits on your desktop here. The linked screen recorder is great because it will make a video of whatever it is that you're doing on your device that you can play. So the video is playing now. You can see it's demonstrating the handwriting join. So these videos can be playing on a loop. So in special needs schools, they need a lot of repetition. So having these handy little videos here works really well. You can also have microphone use there, so that the teacher can talk as the video is created, and so your voice will play over the visuals as well. But also we can create sound buttons as well. So all I've done is I've added a hyperlink to these items here so that they'll play sound. I think because it's coming from my laptop into this meeting, you won't hear it, but basically there's a voice there that's saying "ooh" for moon and things like that. So apologies to the way Teams is set up that you won't hear that. But yeah, just by tapping on a sound button, you very easily get that audio back out to your device. So those are just some of the features that we have included in our links software. Let's go back home to the screen here, and I'm hoping I'll get straight back into our whiteboard. It's loading another one in. Well, the last thing I was going to mention, as we're coming up on time. There we go. We've got some of those still in there for me. That's great. What else I was going to mention is that we are partnered with a company called Front Row. They're part of our parent company, Boxlights companies, and Front Row are a company that create a sound device called a Juno that is a freestanding speaker that links to a teacher's microphone and also a handheld microphone as well. And the way it works is it bounces the sound around the room. So every child in the room, if they have hearing difficulties, it sounds like the teacher's voice is talking very close to their ear. Obviously, I can't demonstrate that to you over Teams, but if it's something that you're interested in, so that's Front Row is the name of the company and Juno is the name of the technology. It's something that we have in our kit that we can come to your schools and demonstrate for you on behalf of Crusader. So I hope you've enjoyed that little whistle-stop tour through some of the ways that we support schools where there are students with special needs. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very
How
much.
was that?
That's great interest, and I've learned a few new things this afternoon as well, which is great news. I'd like to open out to the floor now. Anybody that's dialed in to see if anybody had any questions for Gareth. No, I think everybody's probably still digesting what you've been through, Gareth, which is a lot of information. Well, the webinar has been recorded, so you're very welcome. We'll send the link out very shortly. So if you'd like to come back and review or look at a particular piece in detail, then you're always very welcome to contact us, and we'll liaise with Gareth and arrange for a one-to-one call or a webinar session with yourself to arrange that particular piece of training. Gareth, I'd like to thank you ever so much for coming today. I do appreciate it. And all of our visitors that came to the webinar, thank you very, very much for coming. Thank you now.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.